morning, my name is Sabine Beppler-Spahl. I'm the chair of Freiblickinstitut. We're very happy to be able to organize this event today together with Debating Matters UK, because this is exactly what we want to do. We want to organize open debates on controversial issues without any ifs, without any buts, in favor of free speech.
Let's face it, ladies and gentlemen. Elite sport is not what it was some years ago. It is impossible to measure today's grades against yesterday's, even without doping. Training, nutrition and equipment design have all been fine-tuned at a cost of millions of dollars.
The basic assumption about human beings is that there are two types. The Homo economicus, whose only interest is in maximizing his self-interest, and the altruist, whose only interest is in increasing the well-being of others.
You may argue that the influx of trainee bars and restaurants is a good thing, since it makes the area more attractive. But have you ever considered the sense of isolation low-income residents must feel? They are forced to walk past shops they cannot afford.
Gentrification, I would say, is a reflection of society. So what are your arguments against this huge wave of profit-making?
When this area is updated, so to speak, these people have new job opportunities, and the people that move there will, as Christoph has said in his introduction, pressure the schools, the police to have more things done. And the people who already live there can also benefit from this, and they can work together to improve their neighborhood.
Mir hat die Debatte insgesamt wirklich gut gefallen. Ich habe mich auch ziemlich viel darauf vorbereitet. Wir haben das ja alles freiwillig gemacht, haben in der Schule auch gar keine AG dafür oder einen Grundkurs. Wir haben halt nur auch einmal vorher das sozusagen geübt, als wir ausgewählt haben, wer von unserer Schüler dahin geht. Und ja, das war hier halt einfach dann nochmal was ganz Neues, was man noch nie vorher gemacht hat. Und ich denke, man konnte dadurch auch nochmal viel Erfahrungen vielleicht auch für später sammeln, dass man auch nicht mehr so aufgeregt ist, vor Leuten zu reden, da man das jetzt einfach schon mal gemacht hat.
Die Debatte war aufregend. Ich habe noch nie sowas gemacht. Es war spannend, überhaupt einmal Part von so einem Ganzen zu sein, über aktuelle Themen zu diskutieren und zu einer gemeinsamen Konklusion zu kommen. Das hat mir gefallen und ich würde auf alle Fälle nochmal teilnehmen.
Ja, ich denke ich auch, weil ich fand es ganz interessant, dass auch alle deine Argumente in Frage gestellt werden, dass du tatsächlich genau darüber nachdenkst, wie du antwortest, weil dir sonst deine Worte im Mund verdreht werden. Und man muss halt sich schon ziemlich genau damit auseinandersetzen. Und ich habe, also davon hat man ja schon mal gehört, dass Artefakte zurückgebracht werden sollen, aber so intensiv habe ich mich damit noch nie beschäftigt und das ist eigentlich schade, weil es ist ein sehr interessantes Thema und darüber zu debattieren vertieft es natürlich nochmal.
I'm in charge of the debating AG at my school, and we've been debating for quite some time. I think debating is very important to get very stable grown-up people and adolescents. And when I heard that this was a whole new format, I immediately agreed to get my students on and get working with them. Yeah.
Right, thanks.
Okay. I think this is the ideal format because it's sort of strips down to the bare essentials of a debate, and the participants are treated as adults, which I think is critical. You know, it feels more like a level platform, a conversation amongst adults rather than a group of children being judged by their superiors. You know, and I think that's important for everyone. So yeah, it's great. I think it's a really good concept, and I hope it comes back to Berlin in the future.
Right, thanks.
Yeah.
The topics was an interesting thing because at first when they told us that we were going to participate, our school was mentioned, I thought that maybe it was going to be a free topic kind of thing, but then they handed us the paper saying the topics, and I saw that we had to be pro for the use of drugs in sports, and at that moment I knew, I was like, how does this work? So I wasn't exactly feeling very well about it because you think drugs in sports, personally I'm not for it, but it comes with the job, so you have to do it. And in the end I really enjoyed it. I think it was a pretty nice experience. It also helps you prepare different skills like public speech and different things that you will need eventually.
Oh, I enjoyed it very much. I just loved it. I'm absolutely thrilled by this opportunity of gaining an insight into the minds of the students of Berlin, and I think they just did an absolutely wonderful job. I think it is very, very important for young people to learn to express their minds. But of course the first step is not the expression, the first step is you need to learn how to think. and you also need to learn how to argue for yourself. So I think it's an absolutely basic issue that has not been given sufficient weight during the past few decades. So I'm very, very happy about this event, and I do hope you can make a long series of it.
Only 2 teams can be in the final, which means 4 of you will not win today, which is obviously really sad. Feel free to be upset, have a little cry. But it's important that you get over it as quickly as possible.
The judges said it was very close. Actually, both teams conceded too much and ended up almost agreeing. The winning team actually ignored some important arguments, whereas the team that lost actually had better evidence and more examples to hand. However, their arguments seemed to conclude on the other team's side, particularly in their final remarks. So for that reason, the winning school was Nelson Mandela.
Welcome everyone to the final debate of the Debating Matters Berlin Showcase. Delighted to have the 2 final teams here. It's been a long day of debating, I know, you're probably tired. I'm hoping this next debate, incredibly topical, incredibly pertinent right now in political debate, I hope that will generate some real discussion from the audience as well as up here on the panel. So the difficult motion that the 2 teams are debating is nobody has the right to not be offended. Now, a lot of people don't like this motion because it's got 2 double negatives in it. But it's a very famous quote from Salman Rushdie when he was defending the right of artists to offend people. So anyway, that's my defence of using that debate motion. Salman Rushdie said it. So, arguing for the motion on my right, we have Eckener Gymnasium, and arguing against the motion on my left, Nelson Mandela Schüler. So hopefully you definitely argue for and against. Great. So we're going to do the usual thing. The students are going to introduce themselves to you. I'll introduce you to our final panel of judges, and then we'll get going with the debate. So from Eckener, we have Philippe Jordi and Tomek. So Philippe, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 18 years old. I enjoy playing football, and I'm very into foreign languages.
Short and sweet. Okay.
Huh?
Anything else?
Short and sweet.
Right, fine. And Tomek?
Well, I'm 18 years old as well, and this is my first time debating publicly. I think, like Felipe,
both of us are first time.
Yes, I'm quite excited.
Brilliant. Well, let's have a big round of applause for Eckener. Okay, from Nelson Mandela we have Neil and Ehsan. So Neil, tell us about yourself, nice and loud.
Well, I'm 16. I like all things nerdy. I don't know what else to say. Well, I don't really like German that much, but I guess.
Okay.
I like Japanese anime too.
Okay. Pretty controversial. Right, so Ehsan, let's hear from you.
I'm Ehsan. I'm 17 years old. I'm from Iran, and I've not done this kind of debating before, but I have done a lot of Model United Nations, so maybe I've seen some of you.
Okay, but you prefer this model though?
Yes.
Yeah, good, that's what I'm saying.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to be here today to debate about the motion "Nobody has the right not to be offended." And this is, from the base of current laws, correct. Because on a legal base, nobody gives you this right. But for this debate, we'll need more than just this legal base. We need to consider, we'll have to consider a lot of factors concerning the topic. First of all, I'd love to ask, who decides whether you feel offended or not? Right, this does every individual on his or her own.
Ladies and gentlemen, the discussion of the motion today, at its course, amount to answering this question. Does everybody have the right to offend? Should nothing be off limits? Of course we know the answer to this question because we live by laws that prevent hate speech, which is defined in German law as assaults on the human dignity of others by insulting, maliciously maligning any group within society. But we don't need our laws to tell us that inciting offensiveness, which incites hatred or discrimination, is wrong. Our morality does that for us on a daily basis. When we choose to get offended by a sexist joke, or stand against a homophobic remark, or frown upon media which propagates racist stereotypes, we are not relying on our own laws, but our common decency to make the judgment that what we are hearing should be deemed as offensive.
To give an example to this, let's say in Ireland, the church expresses that they feel offended in their inner system of belief by the gay rights movement in Ireland. The same would be that gay rights activists feel offended by the way that the Catholic Church expresses their points of view and points of view on religion. Both parties would express their statements, their expressions, and their points of view in public debates, offending the other party. Well, prohibiting their expression of their own opinion and their own considerations would eliminate the debate and therefore lead to a further separation of the Irish society and not help solving the problem of this debate. Thank you.
On the 1st of December 1955, an African-American woman caused a great deal of offense to many people by refusing to give her seat to a white man on a bus. Her bravery in offending the white establishment gave life to the movement which eventually ended segregation in America. Her name was Rosa Parks. On June 16, 2015, Donald Trump offended many people in his candidacy speech when he generalized that all Mexican immigrants are criminals and rapists. Hopefully, to anyone in the House today, it is clear that the courage and bravery of Ms. Rosa Parks in offending the establishment in her fight for equality is in no way similar to the cowardice of Donald Trump in using a fear-mongering rhetoric to reaffirm institutional stereotypes against Mexican Americans and incite hate against a vulnerable, marginalized group.